Good morning, my dear students. We all know that we are going through a very confusing time period due to the pandemic situation of COVID-19, the coronavirus. We cannot come to school. But that doesn't mean that we have to stop our studies, right? We will continue it through the online classes. So, today I, Shreya Ghosh, will start with class 9 history, and as you will get your syllabus with you, you will see that your first topic of your syllabus is the French Revolution. So, we will start with that topic today. So, French Revolution. French Revolution is the first topic which you are getting in your history classes, which is a world phenomena or a world event. So, why staying in India we are learning about France or a revolution that took place in France? We have to understand its importance. So, we will start with the importance of French Revolution. The French Revolution started in the year 1789. It is far behind today's time. It is in the 18th century. So, we come to the first point that this French Revolution is the first revolution of the world which was started by the common people of France. Not a king, not a prince, not a soldiers have done the revolution. It was people like you and me. It was teachers, doctors. They started the revolution. Like today in this COVID-19 situation, the doctors, the policemen, the social workers, they are fighting from the front. Like that, in French Revolution, these people have worked for their own country. Now, the question comes, why they have fought? The cause was, in this revolution, for the first time in the world, they changed the government. They changed the government of a king into a democratic one through this French Revolution. It was a remarkable thing to happen in the whole world. Before this, nobody had done it. Right? Now, the next point is, what are the demands this French Revolution have taken? You know that India got its freedom in 1947, and in 1950 we got our constitution, and in that constitution it is told that we have certain rights, like we have the rights like liberty, fraternity and equality. Do you know from where these rights have been taken in the Constitution of India? It was definitely taken from French Revolution. This was the time in French Revolution, for the first time in world, they uttered the words like liberty, equality and fraternity. What does it mean? Liberty means freedom to all. Equality means everybody is equal before the eyes of law. And fraternity means there is a universal brotherhood, without which you cannot demand a democratic right. And as I have mentioned that these 3 points are included in Indian Constitution, we can understand that today, while sitting in your homes, while standing in the classroom, while roaming outside or whatever we do in India is due to the power of the Constitution, is the power of what we have got after 1947. And this power was given to us by French Revolution. That is why the French Revolution is very, very important for us to know how the French people in 1789 have fought for their democratic rights, and they gave us the idea, the philosophy, the freedom, the equality which we are enjoying today, right? People like Raja Ram Mohan Roy, you know that who was a very famous person for Bengal Renaissance. He was also very fond of the French philosophies during the 20th centuries, early 20th century and late 19th centuries. He talked about these ideas in India. And not only him, before him it was Tipu Sultan of Mysore. You have heard about him, you have studied about him in your previous classes. So Tipu Sultan also had a very good connection with the French government and was very much inspired about this revolution. Not only India, you know that in the world today, America is one of the most powerful country, right? Economically, also definitely in the point of defense, they are very powerful. They also took the help of French Revolution. Like in the time when America was fighting for their civil rights, the American Civil War, which took place in 1860s, that also was influenced by the French Revolution. So we can understand by now that this revolution is very, very important for us. And I am sure that as long as you will continue your studies, you will refer back to French Revolution time to time. So, and we will really enjoy the story of French Revolution. So now let's start the chapter and go deep into it. Okay. Now, in class 6, when you started your social science, you did a chapter where you learnt about the Varna system of India. And you learned that in India there are 4 Varnas: Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya and Shudra, right? Like that, in France, the society was also divided. They also had a kind of Varna system. The society was divided into 3 orders. They were known as first estate, second estate, and definitely the third estate. Who belong to these 3 orders? Like I told you that in India, the first category was the Brahmanas. So here also, it's the same case. The first estate had the members of church and they were known as clergy. The clergy people, the fathers, the archbishops, the pope, they all belong to the first estate. Secondly, in the second estate, who were the members? Again, you remember, in India, the second Varna is the Kshatriyas. Yes. So, in the second estate also, the kings, nobles, aristocratic people were the members. So, it is the nobles who were the members of the second estate. And then who belonged to the third estate? You understand that in India we have two more groups, that is the Vaishyas and Shudras, right? But in Europe, in France, this Vaishya and Shudra, both the groups were included into one estate. That means everyone, from a teacher, from a philosopher, from a doctor, from a lawyer, from a worker, from peasants, from daily laborers, from sanitation workers, everybody belonged to the third estate, and they were collectively known as common people. So you can understand that how the French society was divided. Now, what was the situation of France during 1789, the time period? The situation of France during 1789 was not that good. Why? Because see, always we have these things in mind that a European country, it's definitely much more developed, they are much richer than us, they have more resources. But still they have some faults like we have. So what were the faults? That this divided society of France was very, very strictly maintained. Like today we have to maintain social distancing. It was maintained in France. And every burden of the society, starting from rules, starting from regulations, starting from taxes, was on the third estate. The third estate had to give or had to pay all the taxes which was available in France, starting from direct taxes or indirect taxes taken by the state or by the church. There were many incredible laws for the common people, for the third estate. Like one law is very interesting, that is sumptuary law. What is this sumptuary law? You will not find this in your book, but it's an extra to understand the situation. What is this sumptuary law? The sumptuary law is a law which states that the government had fixed the level of your expenditure. Means if you have enough money, then also you cannot buy expensive goods. That means if you have enough money, still you cannot go to the pantaloons to buy expensive goods. If you have enough money to buy and eat chocolate biscuits, you cannot have it. You have to have the Merry biscuits or simple clothes which is sold on the footpaths. And this sumptuary law was imposed specially on the third estate. Isn't it very ridiculous? The first two estates, they were simply enjoying their lavish life, except the common people, except the third estate. The third estate, the doctors, they earn so much, they are very rich, but they cannot use that money. They want to go outside, they can't. They want to buy new dress, they cannot buy because of the sumptuary law. This was very ridiculous. So, what do you think? That the people of third estate will be happy or not? Definitely they will not be very happy. And another thing, you have to keep this in mind, that the church and the king, that means the first and the second estates had a very good and close relationships. So they continue to have a very good relationship, bonding. So always these two estates were together, and the third estate were always on the opposite side. So today we have discussed about the background and the importance of the French Revolution. In my next class, we will start the topic why the French Revolution started. Thank you.